What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well and hopefully you are ready for the contest of elements. This time around we have the dark contest of elements, so it's purple heroes all the way, and you're going to need a fair few to be able to compete in this event. Hopefully I'm going to be able to make it. I must say, up until this point, it's not been too much of a struggle. I was worried about the red one, but made it through okay. So good luck with the contest of elements, guys, and let me know how you guys do. So we have got a couple of new heroes in the portal, so we're going to have a look at them today. And I just want to say straight away, there's going to be some steep competition for these heroes trying to break into the dark hero slot, because there are some amazing dark heroes in the game. A lot of alliances using purple tanks as well. I mean, Bastet there, you've got quite a few other heroes. I mean, obviously Oberkun's second costume. No costume's going to be available in this portal. Set, I've seen sort of making an appearance. Exnol, unfortunately, we won't go there. He's been nerfed into oblivion. But we're going to go ahead and have a look at these two new heroes today, and let's see, what they're all about and whether or not there is something to be desired in this new elemental portal. I believe this is the last element before we start on round 2 of the elemental quest, so it'd be interesting to see what's coming next. So the first hero we're going to have a look at is this chick, and her name is Aconia. So Aconia is a dark hero, and she is of the rogue class. Right away, great class for her because she's going to be able to dodge special skills. She is of the super elemental family. So as we all know by now, the super elemental family makes mono teams stronger. For each ally who has the same element as this hero, they spawn a shield with a power gem each turn. These power gems, I mean, they can rack up pretty damn quickly, and they can make things a little bit tricky on the battlefield. I feel like it kind of throws you off sometimes when you see loads of power gems, even though they're only doing 20 damage to a random enemy each turn. If you get 5 of them on the board, yeah, that's 100 damage a turn, and it's not spawning when they cast their special skill. They just spawn randomly each turn, so that can be frustrating, but it's not sort of game-changing family bonus. The passives that they have are amazing. So for the passive skill, as an attacking character, this character's troops deal 100% more additional damage against the weaker element. So that is a really, really good passive. And also as a defending character, this character receives 10% less damage from troops of the stronger element. So it's all about elemental control with these heroes, and if you're going up against a holy tank with like a purple stack, that 100% additional damage means that you're going to be able to take out that yellow tank, within maybe 1.5 tile matches, but those tiles do some serious damage. She gets the ether talent of the Fiend Resist. Fiend Resist is a great ether talent, and we'll get onto this a bit more in just a moment, but we have got some heroes of the month with Fiend Resist as well, so don't forget about them. It's not part of the ether skill for them, or it may be for some of them, but it's just a passive skill that they get in the battle, so bear that in mind. But with this character, at the start of each battle, she's immune to new fiends for 6 turns. It's an okay ether talent, but then you need to spend a lot of very difficult to get resources to be able to take advantage of that. So let's move on to stats for Aconia. First of all, I think the art is a bit miserable, is probably the word I'm looking for. She's just, I mean, it just looks a bit lazy. I think I said this about the previous super elemental heroes, but I'm not a huge fan of the art. Not really much to meet the eye there. In fact, even though her cloak is sort of opened, it just looks like she doesn't have a body. I don't know what they were trying to get at here, but anyway. Stats wise, we're going to go ahead and switch off the max power preview for Aconia. She's running with 813 attack, 801 on the defense, and 1540 on the health. Okay, so really good stats across the board. She's over 800 on attack and defense, which is really what you want to see, and 1540 on the health. So she's going to be survivable, and she's going to stick around for a fair while. Now, her special skill is running at fast speed, and it's called bleed-inducing daggers. So what does she do? She summons a dagger fiend for the target and holy enemies. So if you've got, or if you're going up against a team with, say, a rainbow team, you don't want to target the holy enemy, because if you do, she's just going to spawn one fiend. If you target an enemy who's not of the holy element, then you'll get two fiends on the enemy. Now, what does this fiend do? The fiend damages its target with 250% attack every turn. That is a huge amount of attack for a fiend. So basically, she's going to be doing 250% damage to two targets if you target the right person, or if you don't go up against like a team with no holy heroes, which wouldn't make much sense. But anyway, that's quite a lot of attack per turn, and that attack is going to happen every turn until you get rid of that fiend. Now, the dagger fiend absorbs healing, and it disappears after absorbing a healing amount equal to 20% of its target's max health. 20% of target's max health is not a huge amount for a fiend, so it can be dealt with pretty easily by healers. Anyone who heals for more than 20% is going to be able to remove that fiend. Now, this is where you've got to be a little bit careful, though, because the third part of her special says that when the dagger fiend disappears, after it's absorbed enough healing, the owner receives 810 bleed damage over 3 turns. Now, this is quite a bit of bleed damage over the following 3 turns, and it does happen just from you removing the fiend. So you've got to be a bit careful about this. You're going to want to remove the fiend, and then potentially you're going to need a secondary cleanse available to remove the bleed damage as well. So it's pretty frustrating and pretty annoying, and the bleed damage does stack if you increase the emblems. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. So that 810 bleed damage is just a fixed amount. I thought it would go up in terms of the attack stat like other damage does. Maybe because it's attached to the fiend, it's just a flat amount. So 810 bleed damage, you're looking at about just over 235-ish per turn. So yeah, it's annoying. Add that to the fact that she's going to have spawned some power gems on the board as well during the battle, and it's going to be quite frustrating to deal with. Now, this is where what I was saying to you guys a bit earlier about the heroes of the month will come into play. So very recently, there have been some big changes in terms of the balance update, where some of the heroes that we didn't really give a second look at before, I'm just going to sort this by rarity, have come into a lot more use in the game. So the first hero I want to go ahead and have a look at here just to show you is going to be someone that's not leveled up yet, but this guy, Morax. So Morax, basically, he deals damage to the target and minor to nearby. He gives minus mana generation, but the main bit is here, he reduces the max health of the target's nearby enemies. Now, this max health reduction is going to work really well when the balance update comes into play, because any health reduction is going to counter boosted health. So that means that if you've got like 1500 boosted health on a hero and Morax hits, the two heroes on either side of the target's health is going to be reduced back down to their normal health plus the extra reduction in health that he gives. So I hope that makes sense. That is part of his talent, which is extremely useful. But for this specific hero that we are looking at, this super elemental hero, you'll see here his element link gives all dark allies immunity to new fiends for 4 turns. So this effect can't be dispelled. Now, the element link for this hero is all important, because if you've got more than 2 heroes, his element link affects all allies. So an amazing counter would be to put, let's say, who's from that same family. So somebody like Grace. So Grace gets the same element link, where she gives all nature allies immunity to new fiends for 4 turns. But if you pair Grace and Morax on your attacking team, if you're going up against this new super elemental hero, Aconia, basically what you're going to be doing is just completely disabling the hero. So there is a way to counter this hero where not only are the fiends not going to spawn, but none of her damage is going to apply, because it's all dependent on those fiends. So that was something that I immediately noticed looking at this card, and I think it's going to be quite evident to a lot of people, is that those element links for those heroes of the month, those are the kind of heroes that you're going to want to use if you are facing Aconia in battle. So yeah, I did initially think this was an amazing hero. The only problem is there's so many available counters that I don't think that damage over time with the bleed damage is going to have much of an effect. So probably I would say a C hero for me, and one that I probably wouldn't go ahead and be chasing or be leveling up. Please let me know if you guys think anything different. But for me right now, that hero is just too easy to counter. So let's move on to hero number 2 in the portal, which is Griffex. I'm liking Griffex's art a little more, I must say. I mean, he looks a bit interesting. That beard does look like it's stuck on with like sticky double-sided tape or something, but he looks a bit more interesting than Aconia anyway, so I'll give him that. He is of the druid class, so he gets a chance to spawn a little minion every time he casts his special, and he gets the same family bonus for the super elemental family and the same passive as well. So as I've said already, I think the passive's amazing. As far as stats are concerned, his stats are almost exactly the same, just like the other way around. If we look at Aconia, it was 813, 801, and 1540. He's 801, 817, and 1532. So extremely similar stats, quite balanced and quite survivable. He is a bit more defensively built, but nothing super out of the ordinary there. In terms of the special skill, we're looking at mana manipulation. Sounds good. Anything that manipulates mana, we like in this game, because mana is the be all and end all of whether your battles are won or lost a lot of the time. So he is at slow speed, and at slow speed he reduces the mana of all holy enemies by 100%, and he reduces the mana of all other enemies by 50%. All right, this is an amazing effect. However, he's running at slow speed. And you need this to be like a control effect. So where you've got heroes like Ruffian and Nergib, who reduce the mana of a target by 50%. Granted, you know, he's doing it to all of the heroes, but she's doing it at fast speed. So that is a bit of a knock to this guy straight away. And he targets the holy enemies by, 100% reduction. I mean, again, if you've got somebody like Ruby, who's an excellent control hero, she's reducing the mana of 50% to 3 heroes at equivalent to average speed on charge 2, and at just slower than slow speed, which you can kind of speed up with tiles as well. She can reduce the mana of all enemies by 100% and deal damage. So Griffex, mate, I think you've just sort of been schooled, unfortunately, by the red heroes. The mana reductions just, yeah, it's okay, but it's not as good as a lot of the other heroes that are already in the game. I mean, Set, for example, as well, if he gets killed, he gives reduces the mana of all enemies straight away by 100%. He does increase the mana of all dark allies except the caster by 30%. Yeah, are you going to really take this guy on a dark attack team with him being at slow speed and dealing no damage? Personally, I wouldn't. So the effect is kind of neither here nor there. And increasing the mana of all other allies by 15%. Really, you would want some kind of a heal in there as well. I mean, even Exnol with his massive nerf is going to increase the mana of all allies by 10% at average speed. And on top of that, he's going to give you a massive 40% heal. So Yeah, I just talked myself completely out of liking this guy, and I think he is absolutely. I mean, for want of a better phrase, he's this is a trash hero. I just don't think that there's going to be anywhere, even in Rush. I mean, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there, but I don't think that there's going to be anywhere this hero is going to be particularly effective. So yeah, I mean, out of the two heroes, I'd rather have Aconia, but then only because she could be effective on teams where you don't have somebody like this guy or anybody else with that element link on the team. And yeah, this guy's just absolutely terrible. Maybe a D, or what's the lowest? A Z? Well, should we give him a Z? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of these super elemental heroes. I think that the other super elemental heroes are really good, and that if you are sort of struggling for dark heroes, then this is a pretty good portal to be able to summon in. But other than that, yeah, that's about it for me, to be fair. Here's a couple of good heroes as well. Hawthorne, Nyx, Louis in here as well. Freya, but she's been featured. Lu Bu. So yeah, if you want to drop a couple of coins, go ahead. There are some good dark heroes in here, but the featured heroes are not very good at all. Your chances are going to be, what, legendary featured is 0.2%. Wow, that's actually not bad. I'd rather have the others. You've got a 2.3% chance of pulling a legendary dark hero. So yeah, it's a pretty good hero portal to summon in if you need some dark heroes. So I wish you guys all the best in your summons and mostly in the contest of elements. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Drop us a like, subscribe, comment. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about these two new heroes. And I'll see you all again next time. Bye for now, guys.